Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. It's another day, therefore another court appearance. Disclaimers: I am not a legal advisor, I'm not a legal person. However, I just took interest in this case and I will be sharing with you the details of the proceedings along with my thoughts. We are back with Mr. Dupree from C Tracker. It is the 24th of November. So today, Baloyi basically continued with leading the evidence by Mr. Dupree, and he just confirmed that the other vehicles in which they had requested the AVL details for were 4 other vehicles. He then stated the registration numbers of these vehicles, and Mr. Dupree confirmed that these vehicles did not have AVL, therefore he had nothing to report. The judge then questioned the witness with regards to the GPS unlocked situation from yesterday, and he says he lives in this specific area by Bara, and he says there is an overhead bridge. He asked the witness if he's aware that there's an overhead bridge there, and the witness then checks, and he says that the reason he's asking is because the GPS unlocked in that area. So the judge was alluding to the fact that when the vehicle passed under the bridge, that is when it lost network. He then just says he's not testifying. However, he just thought that he would share this information because no one else has mentioned this information. Baloyi then finished his examination in chief with Mr. Dupree, and then Advocate Mnisi for defense for accused number 3 then said all the information that he needed he has received, so therefore he has no cross-examination. And then we went on to Advocate Malo, who also had no cross-examination for the witness, and then we went through to the defense for accused number 5, which is usually Umshololo, but since Umshololo was not around when the cross-examination began, Munyeki had taken over, so Munyeki then continued with the cross-examination today. The questions that Munyeki was asking the witness were regarding the 18th of June, whereby he basically leads the witness to everything that happened on the 18th, from when the car started at 8:11 at the Pretoria North Police Station. And the gist of him asking these questions is so that he could show the court that the accused was taken out from the police station on the 18th of June, however was only returned to the police station on the 19th at 2:30, which is plus minus 17 hours. This is very important considering that the rights of the accused were violated. He was in a car in handcuffs for about 17 hours on that day. Munyeki then proceeds to talk about the 19th, which was the same day they brought him in at the police station at 2:30, and around 5 o'clock they booked him out of the police station again. And again on this day, the accused was taken to court, taken to Rustenburg, and the witness then confirms that in total the hours that he spent on the road on this particular day were about 23 hours, because he was only booked back at around 4:30, my apologies, around 4:30 in the morning at Primrose, which concludes about 23 hours. So Munyeki then points out that the 23 hours that he's specifying on the 19th do not include the 17 hours from the 18th. So in totality, the amount of time that this person spent in a vehicle or traveling or moving around in handcuffs was about 40 hours in 2 days. We then went back to Mgomezulu, who is the defense for accused number 1 and 2, who then asked if we can adjourn at this time. It was about 12 o'clock, and the judge then says this witness is here to assist us and he can't be here for long, so let us just continue with the cross-examination. Mgomezulu then continues with the cross-examination, and he takes the witness back to the 18th around 18:52. Now, if you remember, over the past 2 days I've been stating the fact that this witness says that this vehicle was parked from around 1852 on this day up until 11:07 on the same night, and he says the vehicle does not move. However, Mngomezulu proves this point to be incorrect, as we had already seen or heard of Exhibit MM, which was led by Mohane, which had different sort of reports during the intervals in which the car was said to be parked. So the first one that Mngomezulu points out to the witness is that at 19:15 on the same day, which is the 18th, there was a start at Mali, and the witness says this is correct. And then again, he leads him to Fraser Street, where there's a T junction. The witness does confirm this fact, and then he says, in order for you to go from Marley Street to Collins, you need to join the garage. And the witness then says, well, that is the easiest way, and that is the way that he would take. However, that is not the only way in which you could join Collins Street from there. And then Mngomezulu points out that at 19:20, the vehicle moves into Collins Street. So there was a lot of movements within Collins Street, Mali Street, Fraser Street on that night. And the witness then does say that because of how small the movement was in the area, the vehicle doesn't pick up that the car was moving, because they use a figure of 8 when it comes to the odometer on the vehicle. So basically, Mngomezulu then just points out that at 19:35, the car was on Fraser Street, which is no longer on Mali or Collins Street. The witness confirms that that is correct. And he just says, with GPS, even if you're about 50 meters away from the original spot, it doesn't take away the fact that you are still within the vicinity. So he made that very clear, that it is possible that the car was moving around in the same vicinity, but because of how small the movements were, the GPS was unable to pick it up. So this is very interesting, because this area is the same area in which accused number 2 says that he was assaulted and there was an open area. So today, this witness does confirm that in the vicinity of the garage where this car was, there are 2 open areas on Collins Street. Mngomezulu then takes the witness to the time 14:10 near the freeway in Roodekoop, and he says at 14:12 this car is on Heidelberg Road. In which direction was it traveling? So the witness then just indicates that it was traveling in a certain direction, and on Heidelberg Road it turned right into the direction of L Road. And Mngomezulu then reads the coordinates that were given by the AVL, and he asks what landmarks are there. The witness then does say, then Mngomezulu asks if there's a steel plant at that area. The witness does confirm that there is a score metal in that area on the right. On the left. Mngomezulu then asks to confirm that on the right, does it reflect a dumping site? The witness then refers to a train bridge, and he says there is something that looks like bins, and then confirms that it is a waste transfer facility. So this does then confirm the version of accused number 2, that he was taken to a place near a steel plant or near a steel area, and also there was a dumping site within that vicinity. Then Mngomezulu then asked the witness to refer to 14:20, whereby the ignition of the vehicle was off near Ring Road. And yesterday, this witness had testified that there was a Nando's in that vicinity. However, Mngomezulu argued that there were no shopping centers in that area in 2020, and requests if the witness can show sort of a Google map or a Google picture of what the place looked like in 2020. The witness then says he's unable to bring that up on his computer. However, Mngomezulu says there is a possibility that there are changes from 2020 to 23, and the witness was about to say, there's changes by the day with regards to certain places, and Baloyi then objects and says this is asking the witness to speculate. But in all honesty, certain areas do not look the same from how they looked 3 years ago. That's just the honest truth. Then the judge then says an easy way for us to resolve this issue is for Mngomezulu or the defense to go to the city council and request maps of the specific place during this time, and Mngomezulu then requests that this initiative be taken. Mngomezulu continues to take the witness through the report at 1522, where there's excess idling on Ring Road, and he says that the car spent almost an hour at this place. The witness agrees and says it's an hour and 2 minutes. And then he refers to Exhibit MM on page 39, where there's a report that says at 1541 the car was near Old Port Road and then driving in Deep Kloof. And he says the crux of the matter is now at 1548, where the vehicle reports a GPS unlocked. Mngomezulu asks for images, and the gentleman then shows on the map, and then he requests that the witness shows the bridge in which the judge was referring to. The bridge is then shown. The accused then calls on Mngomezulu for some instructions, and Mngomezulu comes back. He confirms that the bridge is there, and he then asks the witness how far is the bridge from the entrance of the gate, and he says it's first the entrance of the hospital, Bara Hospital, and the bridge comes after. But according to the reports, the GPS unlocked happened at the gate of Bara Hospital, and then they can only see the vehicle moving about 10 minutes after at the same location. Now, Mngomezulu then just wants the witness to confirm that it's plus minus 10 minutes in which they are unable to detect the movement of this car. So they don't know whether the car turned right, they don't know whether the car turned left, and the witness does confirm this. The judge then interrupts and says, before you go further, it is common sense that this is one of the busiest places in Soweto, and therefore there's traffic, insinuating the fact that the 10 minutes that the car spent there could have been stuck in traffic, and that's when the GPS unlocked. Then Mngomezulu says, this is during COVID-19. So this happened during COVID-19. So he would just like to diffuse the issue of traffic because the country was under level 3 lockdown. Just before lunch break, we then go into coordinates for roundabout 1603 to 1616, which is plus minus about 10 minutes in another area, which Mngomezulu asks for it to be shown. And the witness says it is a traffic circle on Chris Hani Road. They need, Mngomezulu requests an active image, and then it is shown. He then questions if there's a university nearby. The university is confirmed. Then they also ask if there's a filling station nearby, and the witness confirms that there is a Shell Orlando East on that location. There's then Mngomezulu asked that there's a street turning right by the garage. Please may they show that street, and the witness says that street is Dynamo Road. So that is what took place before the lunch break. We then adjourned for lunch. We didn't waste too much time after the lunch adjournment. Mngomezulu then re-questioned the witness with regards to the 24th, where the witness had said the car had been parked in Benoni at the SAPS station. Mngomezulu then refers the witness to page 64 of the records, and this is where Advocate Mshololo for accused number 5 was questioning Mokane, and she asked Mokane, when taking the accused to court in Boksburg on the 24th, what vehicle was used, and Mokane responds it was a Fortuna. So there is a bit of a discrepancy there, because Mokane said the Fortuna was used in order to transport the witness to court. However, the records are now proving otherwise. Mgomezulu then finished his cross-examination, and Baloyi just had 3 aspects with regards to the re-examination. The first one was with regards to Munyeki asking about time that they left at the police station in Pretoria North, which was 2 minutes past 5, and the time of arrival at Moroka, which was 6:45, and the travel time was then confirmed as 1 hour and 44 minutes. Baloyi then questions if this can be checked on GPS, and the witness says it can. However, this vehicle wouldn't be able to tell because the GPS on the car is just a receiver. Then the last aspect by Baloyi is the fact that on the 19th of June, the GPS was unlocked at 15:48, and before it was unlocked, the vehicle was traveling at 15 kilometers an hour, and then after the unlock, the vehicle traveled at 13 kilometers an hour, my apologies, and then after about 3 kilometers, it then started to travel at 54 kilometers. So now he asked the witness the question if it's possible that these speed limits or these speeds that the vehicle was traveling at are indicating that there was traffic, and the witness says it could be. Baloyi then finalizes his re-examination, and we adjourn until Monday. So have a good weekend. I will see you guys again on Monday.